Hello and welcome back to Scratch for Beginners. This is the second video in the first-person shooter sprite killer game. In this video I will show you how to make the crosshair sprite, which is down here as you can see. These are the scripts for it at the moment. So first of all, what we do is we can paint our own crosshair here. So we go into new costume, which is here, and you click paint. And it should pop up in a second, and it brings out Sprite's inbuilt paint editor. So to make the crosshair, all I did was simply choose the colour, which is black here, and we get the painting tool, and then we just draw, click on the line tool, sorry, you go here, and you draw a line, like that, and draw another line for the bottom, and then we draw another line here like this, and draw that line. It's very simple, and that is your crosshair. As I already have one, I'm just going to cancel, but if you were making this you would click OK. So cancel that, and as you can see in here we have the crosshair, and as you can see here there's another costume for it, as you can see here, which is the second one, which is when you shoot, the little explosion comes up, just to show that it's shot. So to do that, it's exactly the same. So you go into the paint, and you draw the crosshair again, like we did before. Just delete that. Go into here, you draw a crosshair, like we did before. Except this time what we'll do is we'll go into the yellow bit here, go to the paintbrush, and then you just draw sort of nothing too artistic, just a bit of yellow for the explosion. Like this, and then maybe just a little bit of orange in the middle here for the centre of the explosion there, and that'd be your second costume for the crosshair sprite. So as before, you'd usually click OK. I already have one, so I'm just going to click cancel. So now you can see for the crosshair you have two crosshairs, one with the explosion and one without. So if we go to scripts, we do, as you can see, the score up here, which is the variable we spoke about earlier. So when the green flag is clicked, which we get from the control section here, when the green flag is clicked, you go to variables, and it sets the score, and there'll be a drop down menu again here. It'll set the score, as you can see here. Choose that, it says score, and it sets it to 0, which just means when you turn the game on, it sets the score automatically to 0. So when you press play, score goes back to 0 up here, as you can see. Okay, so next, to make when you play the game, you can see that the crosshair follows the mouse. So to do that, you go into control. You get when the green flag is clicked, and then you pull in a forever loop here. So the forever loop just links onto the bottom there, and then you take this, and this is from the motion section, and all I did was get the go to, and then the drop down mouse pointer, that's built in, that'll already be there, so you put that in there. So when the green flag is clicked, forever go to the mouse pointer, which just means that this will follow the mouse around on here. Okay, so now we choose this section. This is the slightly more complicated section. This has got a few sections in it, and we'll show you, I'll break this down for you. So we have when the green flag is clicked, which is the start of every game, as we said before. We get this forever loop here, put the forever loop there, and then we have this here, which is an if, ordinarily called an if statement. So if, and then this blue thing here is from sensing. So if the mouse is down, which just means if the left mouse button is clicked, so you put that in there. So if the mouse is clicked, it plays a sound here. So to get that sound, all we did was go to sounds, making sure you're still clicked on the crosshair sprite here, and you can either record your own or you can import one. I just imported one because it's easier, as Scratch has a load of built-in effects in there. So we go to sounds, and then we go to effects. Bell there. Sorry about that. And then we scroll down here to pop, as there isn't a gun sound. So you got pop. So usually you press OK, but actually we're going to go to cancel, as I already have this. And so that imports the sound there. So that's under the crosshair sprite. So you go back to scripts. So, as we were saying before, when the green flag is clicked, forever, and then we have this here, if the mouse is clicked, you go to sound, play sound, drag that in, that goes underneath the first part of the if there. So if the mouse is clicked, play the sound pop, which means it just goes pop every time you click on when the game is playing here. In this if statement, we have switch to costume here. So basically this means, as before, we made the two costumes for the crosshair, one with the exploded bit on and one without. Excuse me. So switch to costume 2, which is the explosion one. So if the mouse is clicked, play the sound pop and go to the explosion costume, wait 0.2 of a second, which makes it stay there when you click, so it says pop, and then the explosion comes up and then goes away after 0.2 of a second, and then it switches back to the original costume, which is the normal crosshair, which is moving around on the screen. And so that whole if goes into forever, so this just means that it'll happen forever when it's working. So if you want to see here, if we move these sprites around a little bit, and we go to the presentation mode there, and we click the green flag, so you move around, as you can see, explosion, 0.2 of a second, and if you click on the woman, it makes the woman screaming sound, and it minuses your score by 1. If you go and click on one of the soldiers here, it brings it back to 0 because you've scored 1. Again, goes up by 1. So we'll just stop that, go back to this section here, and we are actually done now. So that is the tutorial for making an advanced game, first-person shooter in Scratch.